I want to give a large example and a large overview of how you burn calories on a day-to-day basis. Now, there's something with these terminologies that you may not get, and you may have to rewatch this over and over again. So you've got your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. That's how many calories you burn overall. That's including how much exercise you do, how much fidgeting you do, how much your food digests and how much that burns, and then your overall exercise that you do in the gym. It is a cumulative box. It's something that you can't measure accurately, but we can do a best guess by utilizing some of these smaller terminologies that we're going to talk about. Your total daily energy expenditure is the number that you need to keep in the same body weight. It's how many calories you expend on a day-to-day basis. Let's say, for example, 2,400 calories, and then as the best guess, and then you'll be able to break it down into where those calories come from. Now, this is why it's super important to understand these small terminologies, because you might be quite surprised with where most of your energy expenditure comes from on a day-to-day basis. Firstly, you've got EAT, which is activity, exercise, activity, thermogenesis. That's your resistance training, or that's your cardiovascular. That is a really small portion. You don't burn that many calories in the gym. Max is going to be like 200, 300 per hour on those cardio equipments. Resistance training is going to be so much lower because it doesn't give you that caloric burn, and that's okay. That's not the goal that we're going in the gym for. We're going in the gym to get stronger, to get mentally better, to get physically better, and then obviously to get bigger muscles as well and shape those. So there's a small portion of your TDEE. The next is the TEF, which is your thermic effect of food. All foods that we have actually create a cost to be burned and to be metabolized and to be digested. The higher ones are going to be protein. Around 20 to 30% of all the calories that come from protein are lost within the digestive process, because it takes quite a lot high amount of calories to burn that food and assimilate it and digest it. Other foods like carbs and fats are going to be lower, less than 5 to 10%. The specifics you can get, but you don't even need to know the specifics. Just know that protein has a higher thermic effect of food, and that actually, let's say if you were having 1,000 calories worth of protein, around about 200 to 300 of those would be gone in the process of getting it down you and digesting it. So we have to take into consider that factor as well, although you won't get to accurately know that because obviously you can't measure how much is actually burnt, but we can know from biology and physiology that does happen. And then you've got your NEAT, which is your NEAT. Now, this is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is things that you don't plan. This is like holding the groceries. This is going out for walks. This is tapping with your hands, or tapping with your feet, or standing up instead of sitting down, or washing the floors, or brushing your teeth. All of those small factors all come up to surmise this. It's like non-exercise, so it's non-structured exercise activity that'll help you burning calories on a day-to-day basis. And actually, this is the biggest one. This is the biggest one that cultivates the most calorie burn over the course of your day. 10,000 steps, 20,000 steps. That will be like 1,000 calories burned per 10,000 steps. So it's a lot of calories that you can burn just by adding up those, taking the stairs instead of the escalators, standing up instead of sitting down, moving when you don't need to, but you can do. They're all going to be big cultivating factors in burning calories on a day-to-day basis. And someone that is, the normal, I don't gain weight but I eat loads, will have a really high NEAT. And those that are sedentary and the ones that gain weight easily will either be really big eaters, or they won't have a big enough NEAT. Now, the goal of your fat loss or your muscle building will be to manage these and manipulate these to the best of your abilities. If you're looking for fat loss, increasing your EAT and TEF and your NEAT is going to be the biggest way that you can burn more calories, and you can get your TDEE, which is your total energy expenditure, higher on a day-to-day basis. That's the goal. The more calories you burn on a day-to-day basis, the more fat loss you can get within your diet. If you're not in a dieting phase and you want to know how this considers into your day, the more calories you burn on a day-to-day basis, the more you have to replace and the more that you can eat. So therefore, those that are doing 10 to 15,000 steps or in a lifestyle phase, they'll be able to eat more food daily to maintain their weight than someone that did only 6,000 steps. So knowing these figures and knowing that these all cultivate into your TDEE is going to be super critical when it comes to the reasons why you're doing steps, the reason why we're eating protein, and the reasons why we're going to the gym, because now we know that it's only a small amount of calories that are burnt from going to the gym, and actually you're best spent actually going for a walk or doing other things that are not exercise specific to get those calorie burn higher. And that'll be super critical for your fat loss journey, and then to understand how many calories that you'll need, or why someone will need more calories later on in a lifestyle phase compared to someone else who might actually have less and more sedentary habits, like sitting down all the time, less steps. That he will or she will need less calories than someone that will be on the move 15,000 steps every single day.